Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you see I'm already halfway suited, but not all the way booted. It's week 13 in the books, baby. How did you do? Let's get it. Yeah, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We back, baby. Appreciate you. Now, appreciate you now. Mine first, cause I won. I tried to reach for it without getting up. I slid my duck. Appreciate that. Suited and booted. Y'all give it up. Back in this thing. Gotta expose the gold. Y'all know I love the gold. I can't work without the gold being... Hold on. I can't work without the gold being exposed, baby. Anyways, we back in this thing. I'm gonna make this quick. Everything is normal as far as the teams went. Georgia did what they were supposed to do. No touchdowns from Georgia Tech. Back in the SEC championship. Thanks, Texas. I could probably go back and do the research for as long as I've been doing fantasy. There's very few weeks, if any, where the Bulldogs win and the Falcons win and my fantasy team wins. I mean, if I narrowed it down to one fantasy team, it'd be more likely. But two teams this week, I'm out the playoffs. So there's that. And, college happens before pro. So I had a nice little lineup, and they didn't score no points on one side. And I started the wrong people on the other side. But you don't know you're starting the wrong people until the right people don't score. So there's that. But, anyways, back in this thing. Y'all give it up in this thing one more time. I ain't going to waste too much time on that because it's time to get into it. It's really only 3 minutes in, which means it's time to get it in. And y'all know where we about to... Matter of fact, before I do that, y'all check out my wife's sweatshirt. Hold on. That'd be fine. Uh-oh. It's Christmas season, so I need y'all to check this sweat out. This is the type of shit that she be getting. Look, hold on. They got his name on it. I'm just saying. And this is one of two. I'm stealing it. I'm probably going to tell her, but if I didn't tell her, I don't know if she would see it. Maybe. She might see it, but I usually tell her things before she run into them anyway, transparency and whatnot. Anyways, it's time to get it in. And y'all know where we about to go right to those platforms. Superstars. Where that is the Sleeper app if you're new to the podcast. And stop me if you heard this name before. Patrick Mahomes. I said Patrick Mahomes. I said, you get the picture. Anyways, y'all clap it up for old Patty Macaroni. He's back in this thing. He on every list. He's not at the top of every list, but he is on every list. And it's hard to do that as a quarterback, specifically in your standard everyday league scoring, for the simple fact that they're not very friendly to quarterbacks. But appreciate you. Y'all see Patty Macaroni? Y'all give it up for that young man. to the tune of 23 of 34, 261 yards, 4 tutties in this thing. Also 3 carries for 30 yards. He did take 3 sacks. That is minus 0.75, which means he could have been up around about 37 point something or whatever it is over here in the old Dynasty special. Patty Macaroni doing what Patty Macaroni do. Did they win? I don't know if the Chiefs won that game. Let me look real fast. They did not. Patrick Mahomes did all that, and they lost. Think about that when you're having a bad day. A.J. Brown, squeaky wheel gets the grease. Also went off. His team also lost. See, so like you gotta, it's give and take in this thing. Are you gonna be happy about A.J. Brown having 10 catches on 12 targets for 132 yards and 2 tutties? Or are you gonna be sad that the Eagles didn't win? Fantasy players only. Y'all give it up for that young man. To the tune of, because I got to read all my stats like that, to the tune of 10 catches on 12 targets for 132 yards and 2 tutties in this thing. A.J. Brown does what A.J. Brown do when A.J. Brown get the rock to do so. So there's that. You got to think about it. When they stick to what they do, somebody brought this up on the podcast earlier. When they stick to what they do and run the ball, they win. When they throw the ball, they lose. That's just me. Anyways, Jordan Love. Give it up for that young man. The Packers won too in Detroit. Appreciate that. To the tune of 18 of 30, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. That's 60% completion percentage. Appreciate that. Jordan Love, that's on the fly math right in front of y'all with 5 fingers. 234 yards, 4 tutties in this thing. 5 carries for 4 yards. The man don't run. So like Patrick Mahomes runs more than Jordan Love does. So if Jordan Love makes a top 5 list, he really was throwing the ball all over the yard, if you will. To the tune of 33.76 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. We have another defensive showing in the top 5. That is Ernest Jones, and clap it up for that young man. And you see the minus sign, which means he on my team. Appreciate that. To the tune of a pick 6. I saw it live. I was so hyped. So not only do I have Ernest Jones from the Seahawks in the Dynasty special, I have the Seahawks defense in the old Savvy Davy special. And so at the same time, I was like, pick 6 for the Seahawks. And I was like, is that Ernest Jones? It was just so much emotions at one time. But yeah, the man had 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. I'm going to see if I can go through it right here. He had 2 picks. One of them was for a touchdown. Appreciate that. It never lets me click it when I'm there, so I'm going to go over here and do it because I want to know those tackle stats. And appreciate you. He had an IDP touchdown, which is worth 6 points, 2 picks, 2 passes defended, 12 total tackles, 5 assisted tackles, 7 solo tackles. So 2.5 for the assist tackles, 7 for the solo, 12 for the total. Equals 20-something points. Then he had a pick 6. Then he had another pick, the interception, and the pass defended. So, like, equals 32.5 fantasy points. Appreciate you, Mr. Defensive Player of the Week, in my opinion. And this one never hurts my heart, but always makes me happy. That boy Bijan. Bijan Robinson. Appreciate you. I love when the Falcons do good. We lost. We lost. I just remember that. See? 1, 2, 3 of the 5 players on the top 5 list played for a team that didn't win this week. There's that. Anyways, Bijan to the tune of 23 carries, 142 yards, 1 tutty, 5 catches on 7 targets for 51 more yards in this thing. To the tune of 30.30. 30.3 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. That is the top 5 for the Dynasty special. We slide right over. You know I like to dance when I do it because we're going over to the It's the last year, ladies and gentlemen. If you're an avid viewer, you won't see this anymore. I'm gonna do it by overall top 5 for each position versus top 5 for each league. So that will be my top 5 breakdown for the week. I'll probably take up half the show when I do it like that. Anyways, in the window, say what's good. Where That boy AJ Brown, y'all clap it up again for that young man. I always read the stats at least 2 times, and I can see him better on this one. I'll tell you about that later. To the tune of 10 catches, 132 yards, 2 tutties in this thing equals 35.2 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. That boy Bijan. See how you go up the list. Patrick Mahomes is still on this list, but he's the only quarterback. This is what I be talking about. We'll get back to that. To the tune of 23 carries, 142 yards, and 1 tutty, 5 catches, 51 yards on 7 targets in this thing equals 30.3 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. That boy Patty Macaroni, aka Patrick Mahomes, aka your homeboy's least favorite quarterback because he plays for the Chiefs. To the tune of 23 of 34, 261 yards, 4 tutties, 3 carries for 30 more yards. That is 3 more fantasy points on the ground in this thing to the tune of 29.44 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. Patty Macaroni's main target is Rashee Rice. Y'all clap it up for that young man. To the tune of the man had a carry. Any receiver that's getting carries or any Christian McCaffreys should be high on your radar and in your lineup at all times because that's too many opportunities to let go by the wayside. 1 carry, 2 yards, 8 catches, 92 yards, 2 tutties on 12 targets in this thing equals 29.4 fantasy points. Appreciate you, Rashee Rice. And lastly, but not leastly, you probably will see a different package receiver on here next week. Dontavian Wicks. Dontavian Swish. Appreciate that. To the tune of 6 catches for 94 yards and 2 tutties on 7 targets in this thing and 1 carry for 6 yards equals 28.0 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. That is the old OG special. And we will slide over to the main thing, my main thing savvy. And Patrick Mahomes. To the tune of, you heard it already, 23, 34, 261 yards, 4 touchdowns in this thing, 3 carries, 30 yards in this thing. 34.6, not 29. Just saying. Jordan Love, back in it. Can't be saying too many cuss words. To the tune of 18 of 32 and 34 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 carries, 4 yards. I bet you had some kneel downs in there. Because, they did win by a little bit. Equals 32.3 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. That boy Bijan, one more again for the win. Bijan, 23 carries, 142 yards, 1 tutty in this thing. 5 catches, 51 yards, 7 targets, 27.8 fantasy points. Appreciate ya. And AJ Brown, back in town. To the tune of 10 catches, 132 yards, 2 tutties. It's only 26 fantasy points over here, though. It is not a lot. 10 catches equals 1 point over here, not 10 points. That's the difference. And I should have started him, but I didn't, and that's why I lost an OG special. Bryce Young. Just sitting out there on the waiver wire, and I got his #1 receiver and they scoring. And I'm not starting Bryce Young. I also have Daniel Jones, which probably would have done me just fine. But if I was going to switch, I probably should have switched to Bryce Young. It's my fault. 100% on me. Another story for another part of the podcast. Clap it up for that young man. To the tune of 75% completions. 15 of 20. 206 yards, 3 tutties. 5 carries, 23 more yards in this thing. 26.0 fantasy points. Appreciate ya, Bryce Young. That is the top 5 platform superstars. Y'all clap it up for the platform superstars. And you know what time it is. We're not even going to stop the show. We're just going to keep it going. Because for everybody who pulled up, there is just as many people who didn't. And I feel like there's more this week because there's lots of single-digit points in a lot of my lineups. Which means a lot of my lineups got put on lockdown. My threshold for lockdown is 10 fantasy points. It should be more for quarterbacks, but I'd be sparing them and only double digits. If you're not putting double digits, you shouldn't. You got locked down. And y'all know what I do. I do not make a list. I just slide through, and here we go. Tua tag your mom and play the Viola. 157 yards, interception, 4.68 fantasy points. That's lockdown. Rico. Now listen, I'm real sad about this. because Rico Dowdle scored 9.9 fantasy points. So by 0.1 fantasy points, that boy on lockdown. Appreciate you. They're my rules. I got to stick to them. Emeka Egbuka, 4 catches, 42 yards, lockdown, 8.2 fantasy points. Chris Boswell, kickers normally be kicking, but I can't say his name out loud like that because he only had one opportunity at an extra point and he made it, but he only got 1 fantasy point. Brian Thomas Jr. just came back from injury. Can't say his name yet. Next week, we'll see. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver 1 over there, catches the ball. Woody Mark, 64 yards, lockdown, 1 catch. Please come back to work next week, Omarion Hampton. Appreciate that. Please. Parker Washington got hurt. Aaron Jones also got hurt. That's why I lost. If neither one of them people would have got hurt, I would have got blown out. Let's see. Trey Tucker, 3 catches, 20 yards, lockdown. Kareem Hunt, 58. 1 reception, 58 rushing yards, 22 receiving yards, lockdown. Greg Dortch had a couple good weeks. Back to earth. Appreciate you. Back to earth. My boy Ski. Appreciate you. Devontae Smith, only 1 squeaky wheel got fed over there. 5 catches, 48 yards, 9.8 fantasy points. Lockdown. Theo Johnson, 3 catches, 29 yards. Lockdown. That Eagle defense got lit up by the Bears. The Bears are real. Let's talk about it. That Chiefs defense got lit up by Dallas. Who's starting defenses against Dallas? Like, the defenses that I have, Dallas is not on the list. And if Dallas is on the list, I'm probably dropping them that week. That offense has been humming all year. Who's doing that? Never mind it. This person didn't. I'm just seeing that. I hope nobody did that. Ted Johnson, 1 catch, 5 yards, lockdown. Appreciate that. Rashad White, back to earth. Bucky Irving's back. Rashad White is no longer your lead back in Tampa. Lockdown. Travis Etienne against that Tennessee Russian defense. 5.1 fantasy points, lockdown. Keenan Allen, 4 catches, 30 yards, lockdown. Dallas Goedert, 2 catches, 27 yards, lockdown. Khalil Shakir, 1 catch, 5 yards, lockdown. Ooh, that Lions defense got lit up by the Packers. I don't know if I would have did that either. BT dubs. That's just me. Jerry Jeudy, supposed to be wide receiver 1. You on the sideline getting mad. 3 catches, 26 yards, lockdown. Just saying. Damn. You could have had a way better day. My boy Ski, they did all that fight for Terry McLaurin and nobody started him. I don't see him in nobody's lineup. People paid money, claiming him on waivers all early. Nobody started him. Devin Neal was a starter, 9.9 fantasy points, lockdown. I know it was your first start, but still. Justin Jefferson, somebody who you never think you'll see on this list. 2 catches, 4 yards, lockdown. On 6 targets. And Rams defense got lit up by the Panthers. Appreciate that. Ricky Pearsall, 2 catches, 14 yards, lockdown. John Mechie, 4 catches, 19 yards, lockdown. You're a wide receiver 2 over there. Appreciate you. Like, I forgot. You're a wide receiver 2. Yep. Tony Pollard. Why are we still starting Tony Pollard, people? It hasn't been going good all year. The man is running back 32. Like, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 double-digit weeks. None of them in the last 7 weeks. Just saying. That's 7 weeks. That's 2 months. Appreciate that. Bye weeks in there too, but still, like, ugh. DJ Moore, 2 catches, 17 yards, lockdown. Appreciate that, DJ Moore. Jordan Mason, 47 yards, lockdown. That Seattle defense is real. But you got locked down, my boy Ski. It happens. Kate Otten, 2 catches, 9 yards, lockdown. Troy Franklin, 2 catches, 21 yards, lockdown. Ooh. Slide to the right. Saquon. Lockdown. 56 yards rushing. No catches. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 2 catches, 23 yards, lockdown. Mark Andrews, 4 catches, 47 yards, lockdown. Isaiah Likely was the tight end to start over there. I mean, you can start all your you can start your third string tight end against the Bengals. Appreciate that. Stephon Diggs, 3 catches, 26 yards, lockdown. Didn't play 50% of the snaps. So glad I got T. Higgins. That's why I got T. Higgins, because Diggs be doing good when they need to throw the ball, but when they don't, he ain't on the field. So that Ravens defense got lit up by Joe Burrow. Joe Soko, by the way. Darnell Mooney, lead receiver, 2 catches, 25 yards, lockdown. Jonnu Smith, 1 catch, 6 yards, lockdown. Josh Downs, lockdown. Appreciate you. 2 catches, 44 yards. Tyrone Tracy, 36 yards rushing, lockdown. Zay Flowers, 2 catches, 6 yards, lockdown. And he fumbled. Appreciate you. Jordan Addison, 5 catches, 36 yards, lockdown. Rondé Gadsden, 1 catch, 27 yards, lockdown. Kenny Gainwell, you've been doing pretty good lately. Not this week. Lockdown. Chimeri DK, negative 0.1. You must have fumbled too. Yep, sure did, Ski. Lockdown. Tajay Spears, 8.4 fantasy points. That's lockdown because you've been starting for a few weeks now. How about this matchup? 104.02 to 103.24. Close. I needed Pilak to lose. Anyways. Roma Dunze, 2 catch, 8 yards, lockdown. Other than that, the boys lineup. Oh, Lamar. Once again, 3 weeks in a row, Lamar, lockdown. We got to do something about that. We got to do something about that. Let's see here. Caleb Williams, 9.46 fantasy points, lockdown. DK Metcalf, 3 catches, 32 yards, also lockdown. Just saying. Emmanuel Wilson, Josh Jacobs was back. Just kidding. Jalen Waddle, 3 catches, 40 yards, lockdown. Jake Ferguson, 5 catches, 36 yards, lockdown. Both of these teams would have beat me, by the way, so I can't be mad at how low the score is. Keon came back, lockdown with a touchdown. 2 catches, 9 yards, touchdown. Bless his heart. Is that a torrent play? He did. Goose, lockdown. Juwan Johnson, 8.9 fantasy points, lockdown. He's not playing. He didn't play. And lastly, but not leastly, don't see anything bad over here. That's why that boy almost pulled that thing out. Yeah. Michael Wilson, 3 catches, 36 yards, back to earth, lockdown. Colston Loveland, 3 catches, 28 yards, lockdown. Michael Pittman, 1 catch, 13 yards, lockdown. And Sean Tucker, back down to earth. Bucky's back. That is your lockdown. Y'all give it up for the lockdown. And it is that time. We will take a break and we will be right back after these news and notes from your sponsors, people. All right, we back. Baby, I can't forget to get that in. That's the big one. You know, the small one will be on the other side of the next break. Let me pick my phone back up because we are going to get right into those news and notes for the people. I do the same thing with the news and notes. I like for my news and notes to be as live as possible. So I go through and look at all these designations and slide through and give y'all everything I got. George Pickens limited at practice. I think the Cowboys play on Thursday, so we get an update on them early. Appreciate that. Calf/knee. He may sit out. Be prepared for that because it's a short week. Parker Washington, aka P-Dubski, they don't play till Sunday. I have to do better about giving you guys news and notes throughout the week after I say things. I could probably just make it a quick little 1 or 2 minute short if I could. Excuse me. I shouldn't do that on the mic. Yeah, because I'll be filming on Tuesday, and a lot of times these teams don't even practice again until Wednesday, sometimes Thursday if they play on Monday. So I'm gonna have to figure out a system for that. But keep our eyes peeled for P. Dubsky. Aaron Jones reactivated the shoulder. They said it's day to day, and he's not going on IR. We'll see. Cause yeah, that's how I feel about that. Amari Hampton, please come back to work. I need you. Somehow with 8 losses, I still got a shot to make the playoffs in the OG special. But I got to score a lot of points and hope that some other people lose. I need you. Well, the streets need you. And by the streets, I mean your boy. Even if you only give me 12. Travion and Rico on the bye this week. I need you, my boy. I need you so bad. T. Higgins. We hopefully that T. Higgins has come back to work. Amon-Ra St. Sun God did not practice. He's probably not playing on Thursday. So make your adjustments for that. I'm probably going to go and try and steal me a Lions receiver or 2 for the simple fact that I know he probably not playing. I know Amon-Ra St. Sun God not going to play. I just got a feeling deep down in my soul. But yeah, I'm already going to make plans for that. Marvin Harrison Jr. Harrison. Oh man, did he get hurt again? heel injury is similar to the one that kept Max Melton out for Sunday's loss. Noted that Harrison's going to see a doctor. Yeah, he might miss. Damn, Marv. Shit, you just got back, my boyski. But when you rest, you know you need it. Trey Benson, please come back to work, my boy. I need you. The streets need you. By the streets, I mean my dynasty team. Even though I'm already out the playoffs over there. God dang it, I hate missing the playoffs. It ain't really too much going on as far as news and notes go over here. Tyrone Tracy, he got hurt in the game last night. That's why Devin Singletary went off. But he only left in the fourth quarter. So he was there for most of the game. I ain't trying to hear it. I think that I might. No, I'm not. Not yet. I don't see any questionables or anything like that over here. Everybody's coming back to work. Kamara, he's out. Hopefully he come back. But oh yeah, top 10 Drizzy, aka Drake London. Day to day should be able to play soon. Sammy D in the place to be. That's Sam Darnold. Ankle injury during the win should be good for the next game, which is Sunday against the Falcons. God dang it, we about to lose again. Well, I guess, it'll probably be cool this time for the simple fact, and Georgia play Alabama. Oh my God, it's about to be a bad weekend. Oh man, it's in the SEC championship. Like I feel like any other game, not that, we might be able to pull it off, but we haven't beaten Alabama in the SEC championship. Ever? I can't remember. Yeah. I'll have to look it up. I'm going to do that later. But yeah, that's all Sammy D. Jaden Daniels might come back to work, is what it's saying there. Who was out for Sunday's game, has yet to be clear for contact, but has a chance to play next weekend. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. That is the news and notes that I have as far as my list goes. Stay on the same list. And how many people had Ernest Jones in their lineup and he scored 30 fantasy points? Or Dontavian Wicks in your lineup and he scored whatever he scored fantasy points. And the OG special, he scored 28 fantasy points. So, Bryce Young, because you're not starting him because you still don't believe yet. That's me, by the way. Or slide down here. I should do it this way. This would probably be the best way to do it. Anyways, we are talking about those surprise anchors. That Seahawks defense. The whole defense. And then Ernest Jones. He's a good player. Like, let's not take that away from him. Like, the man be on the field, and before he got hurt, he was top 5. Like, so, like, he only number 15 right now, 14, I think it is. Because he missed like 2-3 games. But then 32.5 fantasy points will push it right back up to right around that area of linebacker that he's supposed to be in. So there's that. Dontavian Wicks, I said his name already. Appreciate ya. Devon Bailey for the New Orleans Saints. For the simple fact that he had 25.3 fantasy points. Appreciate you. A.D. Mitchell, Adonai, Mitch McSkrillex, appreciate ya. 24.2 fantasy points for that young man. Tyrod Taylor. He played the Falcons. Yeah, it's a little bit surprising. I didn't expect him to go off like that. Terry McLaurin, welcome back to work, my boy. Appreciate you. The streets been needing you. He had 22.6 fantasy points. You know, that's how you want your superstar to come back, though. Like, Terry McLaurin is the wide receiver 1 in the Commanders' offense, and he came back and assumed his role. 14 targets. So what if he only caught half of them? He got 96 yards and a touchdown off of it. That's 22 fantasy points. Just saying. So those are the ones that I got so far. I'm still gonna slide through here and see if anything sticks out. I already did the Seahawks defense and that type. So Jacoby Myers, the wide receiver 1 in Jacksonville. Appreciate that, Jacoby. That's Jacoby Myers, by the way. Appreciate that. Oh no, you did. I need Willie to have a week like that. Evan Ingram coming back from the dead. Okay, Evan Ingram, I see you, player. The Bears backfield. Both running backs went off for 19 and 20 fantasy points. Appreciate y'all. David Montgomery, because he had that real bad week last week, but he didn't have that type of week this week. Appreciate you. He scored more fantasy points than Jahmyr Gibbs. He scored more fantasy points than Jahmyr Gibbs. Don't see anything. Okay. Oh, yeah, it could have been better if he would have started. Why did you not? Never mind it. Never you mind. Nothing over here looks surprising, by the way. That's why I'm taking my time. It is called surprise anchors for a reason. These look normal. But that's because a lot of people didn't pull up to the party this week. That's why it's like this. That is why, or at least that is my assessment of why it's like this. You know, you can make your own judgments as to why we can't find any surprise anchors. Slide through. Still looking. Oh, I didn't even know Romeo Dobbs scored that much. Nope, and nope. Oh, that Bills defense against the Steelers. We did not see that coming. That Bills defense did what that Bills defense was supposed to do. And appreciate you. All those quarterbacks over there. That could be a nice team. Oh well, not here. Chuba had 20 fantasy points in this thing. I bet you Chuba ain't nobody line up. Appreciate you. And I think Kamani Vidal, he was a late scratch, or not, our late game add to the starting lineup, but he did his stuff fizzle. He did that. And I think that I am toward the end of that. I am. Let me look through here one more time. My own team, at his team, at the bench. Nope. I'll give it up for the surprise anchors. Yeah, baby. I like it like. Y'all don't mind me. I'm just making it do what it do. Now we'll move right on. I think I got about 11 minutes. I think I can get it in about that time. It's time to see who is rocking with the Any Love in the Crew. I'm doing that. It's gonna be my button. I might just do it in my own voice too. Might do that. Y'all know that is the Sleeper app. If you're new to the podcast, I have to do that twice. Where it is week 14. Northeast Drizzy is on a bye. Therein lies Bo Nix waiting in the wings. Appreciate that, Bo Nix. Bo Nix came back around, started doing some things. He was having a couple of shake. Lately, Bo Nix has been looking a little. And if you know anything about me, I've been calling him Blow Nix since Auburn. And when the man had to leave the SEC to be good in college. And y'all didn't expect him to be shaky in the NFL? Never mind it. Anyways, he's here. And he's finally doing his thing again. Back in the lineup. Appreciate you. Trey Benson, the streets need you. And by the streets, I mean my fantasy team. Please come back to work. If you're playing, I'm starting you. Jaleel McLaughlin, it's against the Raiders. I'm hoping that he can pick something up. He was my low scorer this week. I should have started Devin Singletary instead of him. But I was trying to play the matchup. Devin Singletary went against the Patriots. Not a good matchup. Justin Jefferson, I can't not start him. I'm moving on. Michael Wilson, I also can't not start him, especially with the news that Marvin Harrison might not play next week. The alien is Brock Bowers, locked in, you know the vibes. Keenan Allen, OG, triple OG, back in it. Because Parker Washington is hurt. And so I'm going to need somebody over there to, that's pretty cool. For that flex spot, even though the passing game in LA has been also a little, I'm not going to do it twice, but you know what I'm saying. Shaky, baby. There you go. Jonathan Cooper, because Brian Burns is also on a bye. Appreciate that. And Jonathan Cooper scored more points than Brian Burns last week, which means I might keep him on my roster. Ernest Jones locked in. You know the vibe. The man just scored 32 fantasy points. I'm not sitting him down for nothing. And they're playing the Falcons. Kirk Cousins is going to throw an interception. Against that defense, with no Drizzy, if Drake London don't play, it's bad. It's bad for the Falcons. And that boy Tyke Smith, DBs be tackling. Locked in. All right, that is the Dynasty special. We will slide right on over to the old OG special where Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. I'm never sitting Daniel Jones again. I sat Daniel Jones. I could have won if I would have started Daniel Jones, Kyle Pitts. Believe that. You heard me right. But I'm not sitting. Never mind that. I would have never started Kyle Pitts in this situation with Emeka Egbuka and Tyrell McMillan on my team. So, yeah, I wouldn't have won because I wouldn't have did it. Amarian Hampton, the streets need you, my boy ski. And by the streets, I mean my fantasy team. I still have a chance to make the playoffs over here with 8 losses. Some stuff got to go right, but I have a chance. And so I'm playing like I'm in that bitch. I mean, even when I'm not in, I'm playing like I'm in. Last year, I missed the playoffs by 42 points. I had the same record. But I wasn't scoring. This year, I'm scoring. And I know that I'm not going to have the record. I'm not going to have the record. But I'm going to have the points. If I can do anything, I can score the points. So, that's what we're going to do. Anyways, Amarian Hampton, come back to work. The streets need you, my boy ski. Woody Marks locked in because Tyrell McMillan. I'm not Tyrell McMillan. Rico Dowdle and Travion are both on a bye. And I don't trust Tyler Algier against the Seahawks. Who they just played, the Vikings. None of their running backs did anything. Like I play Bijan because it's Bijan. Tyler Algier ain't on that level. Jacoby Myers locked in until Brian Thomas Jr. outscores him. And I'll just switch him. Also, $29. Oh yeah, it is $29. That's okay. Also, Emeka Egbuka locked in. I don't care what kind of day these people are having. Emeka been the wide receiver 1 most of the year, and I think that if Chris Godwin gets more acclimated, it'll take some of the weight off of him to where they won't be able to double or put their best corner over there all the time, and then we'll see what happens. Trey McBride, he's alien. He's tight end 1. You know the vibes. Why does this say Brian Thomas Jr.? I'm changing it right in front of y'all, so by the time you see it, it won't say Brian Thomas Jr. because I'm not starting both of them. I will not do that. So I have Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts. Appreciate that. And my flex. The matchup is the Seahawks, but that's the one place where they struggle, and it's the one place where Kirk Cousins thrives. So I'm hoping that that's a match made in heaven for me. That Browns defense against the Tennessee Titans. Let's just say I'm liking that matchup. And kickers be kicking, but when they kick like that, you say the name Chris Boswell. Appreciate ya. He only had 1 opportunity. He had no field goal opportunities last week. So he only scored 1 fantasy point. And that is the OG special. We'll slide right over to that old main league of record, nearest and dearest, have it do for your booski do, whatever you want to call it. And another person who I'm not sitting no matter how they play, Lamar Jackson. I will never put Lamar Jackson on the bench for the simple fact that I'd rather him go off or have a dud for 2 points in my lineup than go off for 40 and I lose. Really, on top of that, also, the fact that he's not been doing well hasn't hurt me yet. And when I say hasn't hurt me yet, I mean hasn't cost me a victory. I am no longer the second highest scoring team in the league. I think I'm like 3rd or 4th now because I haven't been scoring super high. But I had that Seahawks defense and I had Bijan. And so here we are. Speaking of, that boy Bijan, locked in. You know the vibes. Don't care who he play. You want to talk about matchup agnostic? Bijan ain't never scored 5 fantasy points. So he had 9 a couple of times, I want to say. But other than that, we locked in, gang. Locked in, gang. Let me see. Oh no, he had 3.2 against Miami. That was the lowest. And then 9.9 against Indy. Everything else been double digits all year. I thought Miami was the anomaly. Like, even Tyler Shuck moved the ball on them recently. Anyways, Bijan locked in. Josh Jacobs locked in. You know the vibes. JSN locked in. You know the vibes. T. Higgins, we need you to come back to work, my boy. The streets need you. The streets need you, my boy. And by the streets, I mean this playoff run I'm trying to go on. I'm trying to win some money. Isaiah Likely, because Hunter Henry is on bye, and that is a Lamar Jackson stack. I like the matchup with the Steelers, but I need Lamar to play better. So there's that. Alvin Kamara, if you're back, you're playing. If not, it will probably be maybe Kamani if Amari and Hampton don't come back. Maybe Kamani if Amari and Hampton do come back. It's just a flex. Like I got Bijan and Josh Jacobs and JSN and T. Higgins and Lamar Jackson. So you know what? I'll let y'all know what I decided before game week or before game day. That Seahawks defense against the Falcons. Kirk Cousins still going Kirk Cousins. So there is that. And kickers be kicking, but when you say their name, when they kick good, it's Chris Boswell. Appreciate you. That is the lineup for the old Savvy, the special. And I got one more break, and then I got to rant about something great. I just made that up right now. My rant is about the fact that I'm sad. Because as much as I do fantasy, one team I locked in the playoffs, one team I locked out the playoffs, and I don't like it. And in one spot I still have a chance. So it's like all the phases. But we'll be right back to talk about that in just a few minutes. Stage set up. Mm-hmm. All right, we back, baby. And I only got one thing left to do, and that is talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of your fantasy football season. First of all, give it up for you guys. Let's start there. Give it up for you guys. You made it all the way through the season. Everybody made it through the season. Even if you didn't make the playoffs, in the Dynasty special, I'm fine. I'm starting to figure out that I'm not very good at Dynasty. Not yet. I think that now once I get into a rhythm, I'm just going to only want to be in Dynasty leagues. I already know this about myself because it's year-round football, and it means that if I don't want to, I don't have to focus on no other sports except for fantasy, except for football when it comes to this, for the simple fact that it's year-round. I don't know if any of the other sports do Dynasty, but I know that football does. And I love it here. And so it's only going to keep getting better. But shout out to you guys because we made it, man. It's almost to the end of the season. If you didn't make the playoffs, I feel bad. I wish everybody could make the playoffs. I wish you could everybody just play the regular season, and then at the end of the season, all the records get thrown out the window, and then it's just a free-for-all in the playoffs. Winner go home, 1 week, winner take all. That would be cool. But that's not how no professional teams do it. Like, you got the seeding and all that, like, you know. So, only half of the league makes it. So, I feel like in a 16-team league, 8 teams should make it. I feel like in a 12-team league, 6 teams should make it. I really feel like in a 10-team league, they give you 6 teams in there. I know they give you 4, but it should be 6. Just because, like, it's easier to seed it, and I don't like the 2-week system. I don't like playing the same person 2 weeks in a row. All that. That's why 10s are too small for the future. That's why everything's 12 and above. 12 teamers or above, and 12 is easy at this point because I've done a 14-teamer and a 16-teamer recently. And so, like, having the knowledge of the depth is just crazy work. But don't forget to get your security pieces for the playoffs. Like, I got Blake Corum on my bench. I probably won't start him till week 18 because even though the Rams just lost and they are no longer the number 1 seed, I feel like the Bears have a better chance of losing more games at the end of the year than the Rams do. And so I think the Rams will still end up as said 1 seed. But also Blake Corum been getting good run anyway. And then an OG special, even though I don't think I'm gonna make it, I still have a chance. So I have Tyler Algier and backup running backs, because running back been frail this year. But get your benches set. I just got to update it. So Stephon Diggs is on the downward trajectory. T. Higgins just came back from injury, hopefully, and I picked up Jaden Higgins from the Texans because they starting to click over there. So I seen that. Sync defense for the playoffs. It is Carolina. It is Tennessee. It is somebody else. Minnesota. It's a nice schedule. Jets. It is Carolina. It is the Jets. It is Tennessee. And if you do playoffs like me, it is the Jets. It is Tennessee. It is Atlanta. So, but yeah, man, I'm sitting here looking through it while I'm telling y'all about it and making sure that I got everything in order and getting my waivers. You know what I'm gonna do next year? I just thought about this right now. I'm gonna check and see what I want on the waivers at the end of the show. If it's just me. Now, later on in life, it could be multiples of us. It could be hosting this thing together. My boys is over there doing the big, but they, it take a while to be able to get into a rhythm of consistency when it comes to this because it takes a lot of time. So, but as long as it's me, I might just check these waivers and do all that picking up and stuff right in front of y'all on the internet. So that's another good idea that I just thought of right now. But every time I read my lineups, it feels like I'm going to do good. And then I don't always do good. So, but shout out to y'all one more time. I love you guys. We made it to the end of the season. 1 more week for most of us, 2 more weeks for some of us. And then the playoffs are here. Get your lineup set. Go get those security pieces. Spend the money. You can't take the fab to the playoffs. Spend that. What you holding on to it for? For who? When you a 6 seed, when you weak at running back and it's a running back out there that could help you be over the top because you're strong everywhere else. What you holding on to it for? Get rid of that. I don't want to say get rid of it, but use it. This not rollover fab. Just use it or lose it. You can't take it with you next year. But that's my last little part. All right, I love y'all. Same time next week. Appreciate that. Subscribe if you're new. Tell your friends. Please tell your friends. Go find me on TikTok, Instagram, X, not Twitter. Can't keep saying Twitter. All the platforms. I'm out here. Mr. Sports Savvy. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.